manhunt.
Warning. You've disavowed the division and are not against Rogue. Rogue agent neutralized.
What is poppin' squad? It is your boy, and today we got ourselves a quick DPS striker build video. For those who've watched my videos, usually my builds are tanky. This is more tailored towards those people who wanted to see how I would run it if I wasn't necessarily going to go for 9k stamina builds. I'm not going to say that this is necessarily a solo build, but if you're pretty good with the build itself, you are able to go solo because you're able to melt people really fast, especially if you keep your stacks up, especially if you play it the way I tell you right now, and obviously whatever adaptation that you have yourself. So without further ado, let's get in the build. You guys can see it is 6P striker classified. Before I even get into the stats, for you guys to understand this, usually I run it with 9k. As you guys can see, you get 0.05% for every 3k stamina. I run the max, which is obviously 9,000. Can't get any higher than that. So in essence, I will get 0.15% for per 100 stacks. So that's the best towards the, obviously towards the bonus of the health. But if you want to, like I said, you can run it this way that I'm showing you right now. 6k, you still get 10% or 0.10%, which is still really good. I mean, it's still healing on a DPS build, so you can't complain about it, especially because of the amount of damage that you're putting out with this. So let's get into the details. I am running a house. You can run any gun you want. Striker is kind of tailored towards that. I would recommend that you would probably go assault rifle if you want to take full advantage of the enemy armor damage, obviously to stack as much as possible. But for me, I like subs in this meta, so that's what I'm gonna go with. And the house, obviously, if you don't got a house, I'm sorry, but you will be able to use this build with basically any gun in the game, whether it be shotguns, whether it be ARs, or whether it be subs. It doesn't matter because the amount of damage you put out when you have those stacks is surreal, so don't even worry about if you don't have the house. But if you do have a submachine gun build, like your version is tailored towards submachine gun, I would run the house because the house is just amazing. So that's just me. And my secondary, and before I even get into this, look, you can easily cheese with the SASG. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are doing it. It is what it is for stacks. But I would love to say with 100% certainty and on my accord that Showstopper gets you stacks so much faster and so much easier than the SASG does. So it's almost redundant to use the SASG if you're looking to just use it to get stacks. I don't know what it is about the Showstopper. I don't know if every bullet counts or something. It's crazy. Like, it's like 5 shots and you're at 100. And it's just enough so that you don't kill an NPC. Let's say you run up to NPC. It's better to shoot them with the Showstopper than melt them with your house because you can kind of get the instant stacks and go into the fight with it. So that's kind of a little trick I use whenever I'm in like a server fight and I run past NPCs or something. I need that quick health, quick, fast, in a hurry. Showstopper shoots pretty fast. Just hold the trigger and aim. So, and basically, since you're playing like that with the submachine gun anyways, you're going to be used to just holding the trigger and just treat the Showstopper like an AR and just melt the NPCs, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I use this as a secondary. I don't really use it for damage unless I'm using the shotgun version of the build, but that's pretty much why I don't have an AR as my secondary, just so you know. Now let's go into my third. This is a little thing. Use Predatory. I have Predatory and Sustained on my double barrel just for some added survivability whenever I want to finish somebody off. It's really good when you have full stacks. Switch this because you have time because your stacks are healing you. You get that Sustain and you get that Predatory, which is extra heal over time. You want to stack it as much as possible. Going into the build, you guys can see Striker Harness, roll towards stamina, health, skill haste, 2 firearms mods with health. Like I said, it's going to be a 6,000 stamina build. So basically everything else that is not invested in stamina is going to be in the firearms. As you can see, I'm going to have firearms rolled for crit hit chance, major attribute. Go down to my firearms with health. Like I said, going down to my striker knee pads. I have crit damage on here just to test out a little more damage, but you can if you're not safe. If you don't feel safe with 508, you can go a little bit higher by rolling that major attribute to health, but that's up to you. This is just how I run it. I was testing it out just to have a little bit more damage, since I'm not going to be breaking that 7K, 8K firearms mark that a lot of people who are running these hexo builds or whatever are melting with. So yeah, that's that. Firearms with health and a first aid self-heal. Just for some extra sustainability. You can run post critical hit chance if you're using that, but most people are using support stations now, so it's pretty much better to run first aid self heal since support station gives you so much as is. Striker pack, roll for stamina, health, and I'm gonna have post critical hit chance on here. And the reason I have post critical hit chance is I'll just test this stuff out. Usually I'll run first aid self heal, so don't mind that. Firearms with health mod, go into my gloves, nothing too fancy. Firearms, crit damage, SMG damage, crit chance. And don't roll enemy armor damage. People are starting to do that. Don't do that. Not for PvP. It's not worth it as far as damage right now. Go for that chance. I know people are saying, well, I just want as much damage as possible. It's not worth it. You probably get more damage from the crits that you get from that 5% rather than that. But I have this roll for health. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the build in its entirety. You can tweak it if you want to lower firearms a little bit. It doesn't really make a difference because, like I said, you're really relying on the 100 stack or like upwards of 70, 80. So you can pretty much run this build however you want depending on your playstyle. It does struggle kind of against predators, this version of the build, because you do get melted really fast. If you get that bleed tick and they have a really good predators build, especially optimized one, you're gonna have a little bit of problems unless you have those stacks up. So this build is kind of built around your stacks. I don't know if the EMP and the disrupt mines are working as correctly, because I've seen a lot of people get disrupted and still have their stacks. So as of right now, the build's kind of solid in that end, but if they did change that, I see a little bit of problems, especially if you're not running the full tank version. But that's just me. That's just how I see it. I don't know many other players who would disagree that this is probably the strongest version as far as the DPS babies. They would say 6K stamina is the way to go. They're not going to go 3K stamina because you're going to get destroyed. This is kind of the happy medium for it, and you don't really need skill power anyway, so you're pretty much relying on your damage output. As you can see, I almost have 400k DPS, and the stacks keeping that 508 toughness alive. So let me go into my character sheet so you guys can see real quick. 48% crit chance, crit damage 117, headshot damage 62, stability at 30, enemy armor damage at 15, skill haste at 7, armor mitigation at 30.93, and obviously you can optimize this if that's your forte. I wouldn't invest my optimization into Striker, but a lot of people would, and you know, there's no problem with that. But let me talk about this build real quick. People are calling this build like the new meta, and it's not because it's necessarily the best build. I just think it's the easiest to melt with if you're a good player. So this would be the skilled players build if they had to choose between the classifieds. I believe Striker, it suits the people who used to sit at West 42nd and 1v1 all the time. I feel like this is the build that they are running around with. They get to utilize that left trigger, right trigger with a shotgun. They get to switch off and melt with the AR or melt with their submachine gun. So I'm pretty sure you guys are noticing this build's going around. This is pretty, I'm not going to say this is how they're running it, but this is similar to what kind of, you know, the blueprint of what they're running and what you're going up against and why people are living so long, because your health is lower, which means those ticks are a little bit better since you have less health, and the firearms is already at a stable number as is. So going, when they're at 100 stack, it's like, it's not even worth facing, especially if they have a shotgun. So it's just the power of Striker is ridiculous, because let me go through this. You get stability, so they're already melting laser beaming because they don't have to really worry about recoil. Enemy armor damage, obviously the 1% stack up to 100, and now since they changed it, the stacks don't go away as fast, so it's pretty good for people who have, you know, potato aim. Sometimes they can get their stacks right back anyways. The 5-piece, more stability and more enemy armor damage. 6-piece, of course, the healing factor. And as you can see, it says every hit increases the bonus damage of a Striker by additional 1%, and if you miss, it drops it by 1% instead of 2% like it used to be, which is why people couldn't keep stacks up. So obviously the improved version changes the whole build in its entirety, and it makes it really good. So that's pretty much it for those people who want to use this build. Feel free, have fun with it. Let me go to my attachments because people always ask me. This is what I run. Nothing too fancy. I would get a different scope. I forgot the name of it, the one that I would try in PTS, but I don't have that. But yeah, that's it. You guys, thank you so much for sitting here and watching it. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I'll be doing some more gameplay on this with this build, so if you want to see some more in-depth DZ or some skirmish or whatever it is, but love you guys, much love. Your boy is tired. I wanted to put this video out for you guys because a lot of people have been asking me, make a DPS striker. Please, please, please stop with the tank builds. But this is here it is. DPS build striker. Love y'all. Squad, we out.